This is moments after Alex Cox shot at Melani Boudreaux.
Okay, someone shot at your vehicle?
Yeah, and it hit my window. It shattered my driver's side window.
Okay, when you pulled into his driveway?
As I was trying to pull into my driveway. Sorry, I'm a little off breath. They just drove off. I saw them drive off.
Representing herself in court, Vallow-Daybell expressed that she was too ill to proceed with jury selection and insisted on conducting it personally rather than delegating to her advisory council. Her condition led to emotional moments in the courtroom, including crying and reluctance to move from her wheelchair, prompting the judge to excuse both her and the prosecutor temporarily. Due to her reported illness, the judge postponed the proceedings, scheduling the next session for Wednesday, June 4, 2025. He emphasized that regardless of any delays, he would remain the presiding judge throughout the trial. And we know that's what Lori wanted. This was planned, obviously. Lori Vallow-Daybell, known as the Doomsday Mom, is currently on trial in Arizona for allegedly conspiring with her late brother, Alex Cox, to murder her niece's ex-husband, Melani Boudreaux, in 2019. This trial follows her recent conviction in April for conspiring to murder her fourth husband, Charles Vallow. Vallow-Daybell is representing herself in court, a decision that has led to multiple confrontations with Judge Justin Boreski. She filed a motion to have the judge recuse himself, citing personal bias and religious discrimination, but the motion was denied. Jury selection for the current trial began on May 29, 2025, with opening statements expected on June 2nd. The prosecution plans to present 22 witnesses, including law enforcement officers and family members. On the morning of October 2, 2019, Melani Boudreaux, the estranged husband of Lori Vallow-Daybell's niece, Melani Boudreaux, was targeted in a drive-by shooting outside his home in Gilbert, Arizona. As he returned from the gym, Boudreaux noticed a dark-colored Jeep Wrangler parked near his driveway. As he approached, a shot was fired from the vehicle, shattering his driver's side window.
Hi there. So what's going on?
Someone just shot my window out.
Okay, give me a little bit more than that.
Yeah, so I was just pulling in.
Mm-hmm.
I noticed a green Jeep Wrangler.
Okay.
It's like a pukey green color. Had a Texas plate.
Mm-hmm.
I just moved in like a week ago, so I thought maybe it was just my neighbor.
Okay.
So as I was kind of pulling in, they lifted their back window.
Okay.
I saw a muzzle. They shot.
Are we talking a real gun, a BB gun?
It's got to be like a BB gun or an airsoft.
Okay, so they shot, then what happened?
It hit my window, and instead of turning in, it scared me really bad.
Okay.
I thought, I'm getting shot at, so I drove straight. So I drove straight really fast.
Okay.
Pulled around the corner, got my phone out, called 911, sat there, drove a little further up. I watched them come around the corner.
What do you mean coming around the corner? Come around the corner where?
So I drove up there. I drove
to
this street.
Gotcha.
Right, went a little further.
Okay.
Parked by, there's a park right there.
So he went northbound on that street.
Turned right, and I watched him turn right down here, and I knew there was only one way out of this neighborhood.
Okay.
On Pecos and Wrecker, so I told that to the dispatcher.
Okay, so he was on Wrecker. He went, but you don't know if he went onto Pecos. You just know Wrecker Road.
He didn't get on Wrecker. He stayed on this, and he came out on. He had to have gone out on Pecos because that's the only way.
Oh, he stayed in the neighborhood. He did not go out to Wrecker. I got you covered. Okay.
And I was nervous, so I was kind of waiting because I didn't want him to follow me.
So we don't know where, if he went on Pecos, left, right.
I don't. I didn't follow him anymore. I was a little uncomfortable.
Okay. 11 Paul 22, just for information on units, left the neighborhood south toward Pecos and unknown from that location. Okay.
So it was really loud, so that's why I didn't think BB gun, but it could have been maybe
well, let's look. So you were just pulling into the driveway, they were sitting here.
Yeah, so I was
So were they facing then west? Because if they opened the back?
Yeah, he opened the back, and there had been two people, I think.
Okay.
Quick. So they were parked right here.
Right, facing that way.
Facing towards this van.
Gotcha.
And so my window was perfectly aligned because I was kind of starting to pull in.
Okay, so you didn't totally pull in yet. Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
You can see my window. It's shattered, but it didn't go through, which means it couldn't have been a real bullet. And I didn't think about that for a second.
Oh. Whoa. Hello. Is that who's?
Car,
okay, I'm like, what the heck?
Oh, wow, I didn't see that.
Yeah. Is this going to shut on me if I get close?
No, because I'll
Okay.
put the key inside.
Well, I don't think that's a BB gun.
One friend calling us, Ninja 459. It's been holding for over 2 hours.
Alright.
District 6.
Alright, so it looks like they shot up anything. It'd be there. You have any enemies? Anybody that you...
I just went through a divorce. There was some crazy stuff that happened with her aunt, killed her husband, but I would hope that has nothing to do with this.
Fortunately, the bullet missed him, and he was unharmed. Boudreaux immediately called 911 from a nearby park. Investigators later determined that the Jeep was registered to Charles Vallow, Lori's deceased fourth husband. Digital evidence, including cell phone records, placed Lori's brother, Alex Cox, near Boudreaux's home at the time of the shooting. Prosecutors allege that Lori and Cox conspired to kill Boudreaux, motivated by their apocalyptic religious beliefs and a desire to eliminate perceived threats to their plans.
October 2nd, someone parked in front of my house and shot at me.
The shooting of at and killing of spouses of individuals who were part of this group was part of this common scheme or plan. The financial benefit to Ms. Vallow-Daybell's niece at the death of her soon-to-be ex-husband would have helped finance some of the defendant's travels, lives, and movement on in the future. There will be multiple witnesses who discuss that the defendant talked to people that Melani Boudreaux and her money would take care of them, that Melani Boudreaux and her money would help aid the group's plans for the future, and fundamentally it is part of a common scheme or plan. It is far more probative than prejudicial. It is part and parcel. The other piece, just from logic in terms of the law enforcement involvement, the shooting at Mr. Boudreaux is what actively got law enforcement paying attention, what actively got law enforcement looking for JJ and Tylee, and it's core to the presentation of many of the law enforcement's assessments of evidence.
In the storage unit Lori rented approximately 24 hours prior, surveillance footage later showed suspicious activity. Between 8:46 p.m. and 8:53 p.m., Lori's Gmail account was used to search for man shot in AZ. These searches happened shortly after an attempted homicide on Brandon. On October 3, 2019, at approximately 4:28 a.m. Mountain Time, a Jeep Wrangler with Texas plates was spotted driving northbound on U.S. Highway 20 near Rexburg, Idaho. Between 2:11 p.m. and 2:14 p.m., Alex Cox and Lori Vallow were captured on surveillance at Self Storage Plus. They removed a single vehicle wheel with a tire and what appeared to be a back seat from Lori's storage unit. Later that same morning, at around 10:30 a.m., Melani Boudreaux was interviewed by investigators. She denied knowing about the shooting and was unable to account for her whereabouts on October 2nd. Melani admitted she knew Lori and Alex but claimed they weren't close. She also refused to give out phone numbers, saying she believed their phones were being tracked. In the weeks that followed, several homicides came to light. Melani's relationship with Alex, Lori, and Chad Daybell was confirmed. She moved into the same apartment complex in Rexburg, Idaho. Melani Boudreaux, Lori Vallow's niece, played a complicated and suspicious role in the web of crimes surrounding Lori and Chad Daybell. Initially seen as a loyal follower of their apocalyptic beliefs, Melani quickly became deeply entangled in the case after her ex-husband, Brandon Boudreaux, survived an attempted murder that authorities believe was orchestrated by Alex Cox, Lori's brother. Investigators found that Melani had moved to Rexburg, Idaho, around the same time as Lori, Alex, and Chad, even marrying Ian Pulowski shortly after arriving. Though Melani denied any knowledge of the shooting, her close proximity to the key players, her sudden marriage, and her refusal to share phone data raised major red flags. Evidence showed she was in regular communication with Lori and Alex during critical moments of the investigation, suggesting that she may have been more involved than she let on, whether directly or by staying silent. This police interview was very strange. She accused her ex-husband of being gay, and the reason is she was told by God according to him. She was obviously manipulated by Lori. It was part of the plan because she was the only person that had his new address.
All right, so the reason I ask is yesterday we responded to a call for service because somebody tried to shoot Brandon. Returned to his residence, and there's evidence to indicate this to potentially, and that's why I'm involved now. Do you have any idea about this, or anybody who would have any desire to do something like this?
Charles, kind of.
So Brandon did some sort of business with Charles, so we believe.
Oh, no, we did. He invested $40,000 for some juice truck in Hawaii that just disappeared. We don't know where it went.
She tried to make it seem like Charles Vallow and Brandon had some kind of business dealing that went wrong, and then she went on to say that he was gay. A whole bunch of other lies. This lady is just as bad as Lori and should have got charged for this, but unfortunately she didn't. Instead, they used her as she cooperated in another case. Melani later married Ian Pulowski, Alex married Zulema Pastenis, and Chad married Lori. Chad's deceased wife, Tammy Daybell, was exhumed. Alex would later die of what was labeled natural causes. Lori and Chad were arrested. The remains of multiple individuals were recovered. Biological evidence from the Jeep Wrangler confirmed Alex Cox had been in the vehicle. Gunshot residue was also found around the back window of the Jeep, confirming that a firearm had been discharged from the vehicle's rear. This Jeep matched the one Melani Boudreaux described during the attempt on his life.
The first thing I want to say is we are not an AI channel. We actually are a podcast. Make sure you check out our live streams and our regular videos. Now let's get down to the facts. This Melani lady should have been charged with conspiracy to kill her husband, her ex-husband at the time, but she didn't. And this lady is crazy. She is just as bad as Lori. I'm telling you. Later on down the line, you're going to see all these characters that you think that might be angels or they might change. No, they're going to slip up and they're going to show their true colors. Trust me. These are some crazy, sick individuals. Now let's talk about Lori being in a wheelchair. I think she was doing this to delay the process and try to get another judge. And it's funny because the judge says, I will be here Wednesday. So she will have to show up, wheelchair or not. She will have to get rolled in there like Wheelchair Jimmy in Degrassi. And I don't know who this bitch thinks she is. Like a fucking inmate princess getting rolled into the court. Get the fuck out of here. Stand the fuck up. We know you good. She even said to the judge, come to my cell. And dude, no one wants to go to your cell, Lori. Nobody. But I predict Lori gets hit with another life sentence. This trial's going to go by very quick. So much evidence. Let's get down to it. You know, they have them going in and out of the storage locker. They have the tire going off of the Jeep so Alex can make an easy shot. They have the actual vehicle identified. They have cell phone records of Alex in the area. I mean, and then they have Lori Vallow searching up Brandon whatever shot in Arizona. Man shot in Arizona. She was looking it up, making sure the actual hit was done. Sick individuals, man. This is Lori Vallow's last ride. Besides her appeals or whatever, if she even has any, I'm sure she does. But when it comes to these trials, right, this is going to be the last clown show she's able to do, and she is going to get cooked. She's already getting cooked, but she's really going to get cooked. Another life sentence.
Yeah. She don't wanna go up the road, yeah, she's real scared. Acting like she's sick, rolling in a wheelchair. I swear Chad Daybell, he be so weird. She got so many bodies, yeah, that's tattooed tears. You got the nerve, Lori, say the trial ain't fair. When we can't hear the voices of your kids nowhere. Cause you took their fucking life, or had your brother do it. Either way, you doing life. Now Kobe Bryant did the unthinkable to his precious wife. And the people don't care, man, they just let it slide. Man, I got 2 daughters, so I can't let it slide. And I could've interviewed him, but this is genocide. Now Lori's gonna roll to the courtroom. she's a witch, yeah, get that bitch a damn broom. That chopper ripping in position, you done marry Peter Griffin. Yeah, that boy is your damn groom. What the fuck is wrong with you? Chad Daybell, he done break the damn cell. He be big like Free Willy, but he doing too well. Alex Cox hold his cock, and he also hold a gun, but he died in the end, so he can't hold his L. She don't wanna go up the road, yeah, she's real scared. Acting like she's sick, rolling in a wheelchair. I swear Chad Daybell, he be so weird. She got so many bodies, yeah, that's tattoo tears. Tattoo tears. That's tattoo tears. She's a crazy ass bitch. She's a crazy ass bitch. She's a crazy ass bitch. She's a crazy ass bitch.